In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the top 5 most important steps for project management and product design to help you gain more efficiency in your work. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Renee, and today we will be reviewing a step-by-step process for mastering project management with the profound insights from Elon Musk. Renowned for his work at companies like SpaceX and Tesla, let's explore how Elon's wisdom can elevate our approach to achieving project success. In this video, our goal is to break down and simplify the valuable lessons from Elon's experiences, making them more accessible and understandable. We would like to acknowledge that the Everyday Astronauts channel for the original content and interview that he did with Elon Musk that inspired this breakdown video. You can find the original video in the description below. To tackle this, we need to dissect each stage of the process, from the initial design right through to the final production. This involves a deep dive into the workflow of the project, pinpointing exactly what is causing delays and any inefficiencies. It is critical to understand the details of any complex project and also their origin and intended purpose. This brings us to our first step, to make requirements less dumb, as Elon likes to explain it. In the difficult world of design and manufacturing, a prevalent issue is the existence of inefficiencies and excessive constraints that impede the entire workflow. This is where significance of clarity in teams becomes paramount. The first issue stems from poor requirements or constraints placed on a project by a chief engineer or a supervisor, and everyone on the team just takes their word for it and doesn't actually think through what's being asked, or they lack an understanding. That's kind of what I boiled this down to when he says make requirements less dumb. Is someone's putting constraints on the project, or they're asking too much and no one understands what they want. So therefore you end up wasting a whole lot of time and money because there's unclarity in the situation. Reflecting on insightful instances, Elon shares his stories from Tesla's production line. We see a vivid example of how misunderstandings within teams can lead to unnecessary complications. Elon highlights a situation where the fiberglass mats were being glued on top of the battery pack, causing the choking of the production line. Confusion across departments turned out to be the root of the problem. The battery safety team assumed that the fiberglass mats were for noise and vibration, and the noise and vibration team thought they were needed for fire safety. It turned out that the part had no clear purpose whatsoever and was merely an artifact of uncoordinated decision making and a lack of clarity in communication. The story underlines the critical necessity for clarification when working in larger teams and in complex projects, especially those involving any cross-functional teams. Communication and understanding of each team member's role and contributions are essential. It's not just enough to identify a problem and add a requirement. It needs to be understood why the requirement is there. This involves creating a culture where team members are encouraged to ask questions, seek explanations, and understand the rationale behind each decision. Elon says you really want everyone to become a chief engineer and have an understanding of the total project. This means that everyone needs to understand the project and system at a very high level. This way, they will be aware of their decisions and in what way they will affect the project. Each individual on the team should be aware of what they're working on and if it's the best use of time and resources. Therefore, our objective isn't just to streamline the process to enhance efficiency, but it's also to foster an environment where every team member feels responsible and empowered to seek clarity. Each requirement, constraint, or addition to the project must be transparent with clear documentation, including the name of the person responsible, their department that they're from, and the concise justification of why it's actually needed, and their name attached with their phone number. The practice of clarifying the documentation ensures that every aspect of the project is 100% necessary, understood by all the departments, and agreed upon by all team members, thus minimizing inefficiencies and paving the way for success and streamlined project execution. This approach does more than just remove redundancies. It fosters a culture of clarity and responsibility and it helps pinpoint where the regulations or processes are causing delays or inefficiencies. By applying this method, we set the stage for a more streamlined and efficient and effective workflow, paving the way for innovation and success in our projects. Moving on to our second step, delete the part or process. We embrace a principle that is simple but is very transformative. It's as simple as delete the part or the process. In the realms of design and production, it is very easy to get caught up in the details by adding different features and functions to the overall design. However, the true art is knowing what to eliminate or delete. Elon Musk sheds light on the critical aspect of engineering and project management. Starting at the number one mistake of an advanced engineer is to optimize a part or process that should not exist. The propensity to optimize something that shouldn't exist in the first place is a common trap for the most skilled engineers and managers. We often spend considerable resources perfecting a component or a process only to realize later that it was unnecessary. To avoid this pitfall, we need to adopt a mindset of strategic deletion. In practice, this means rigorously evaluating every part in our design phase and every step in our production process. You have to ask yourself, is this absolutely necessary? Does it add real value? Or could the project benefit from its removal? Musk suggests a practical guideline. If you're not adding back in at least 10% of the parts or processes you've removed, you're probably not deleting enough. This rule of thumb ensures that we're continually challenging ourselves to streamline the projects. Musk says that the Tesla development engineers need to be more aware of removing inline process testing, which is a testing procedure and quality check that is conducted on a range of different componentries when in an assembly line and when the assembly line is in its initial setup phase. This inline testing should be removed once you've diagnosed and found where the mistakes are occurring, and once you've fixed them. Full checks and tests should be done at the end of the line. He states that inline testing is responsible for choking the cycle time. But deletion is not just about removal, it's about refinement and focus. By eliminating redundant and unnecessary elements, we can concentrate our efforts on what really matters, enhancing the overall efficiency and effectiveness of the project. This step really requires a balance of critical thinking and courage to let go of the excess, and the vision to see beyond the present configuration to a more streamlined future. Remember, the goal here is to achieve a high level of simplicity and functionality. In doing so, we're not only making our projects more manageable, but we're making them more efficient and adaptable to change and innovation. As we proceed to the next step, keep this principle of strategic deletion in mind. It's not just about what we're adding to the projects, but it's also about what we choose to leave out that defines the success. In our journey about mastering project management, step 3 is about simplifying and optimizing. This step is about the natural progression from the act of deletion we discussed earlier. Once we've removed all the unnecessary elements, our next step is to refine and improve what remains. Simplifying means making every part of the project as straightforward and as efficient as possible. It's about breaking down complex processes into more manageable and understandable components. This could involve rethinking the workflows, consolidating all the tasks, or even changing the way that the teams are structured. The aim here is to strip away any complexity and not to make the project basic, but to make it more accessible and agile. Optimization, on the other hand, is about enhancing the performance and efficiency of the simplified process. This involves a careful examination of every remaining element and asking, how can this be done better? Optimizing might include incorporating new technologies, adopting best practices from other industries, or rethinking traditional approaches. Here it is important to remember Elon Musk's advice. The biggest mistake is optimizing something that shouldn't exist. We're not just adding improvement for the sake of improvement. We're making strategic enhancements to add real value to the projects. This step requires a delicate balance While simplifying, we must ensure that we don't oversimplify to the point of losing functionality. And likewise, in optimization, there is a risk of being an over-engineer, and the goal here is to find the sweet spot between the project running at its peak efficiency and the least amount of unnecessary complexity. In practice, simplifying and optimizing could look like streamlining communication channels, reconfiguring production lines for better workflow, or implementing software that automates mundane tasks. It's about being smart with our resources and time, and ensuring that every aspect of the project is geared towards maximum effectiveness. As we move forward, let's keep in mind that simplification and optimization are an ongoing process. They require continual reassessment and adjustment as the project evolves, with each step as we move closer to a project that is not just well managed, but was also modeled for efficiency and innovation. Alright guys, we're on to step 4, accelerating cycle time. In the dynamic world of project management, speed is often the name of the game. And just as SpaceX is continuously pushing the boundaries of rocket development to achieve a faster turnaround time, we must strive for efficiency and agility in our projects too. The concept of cycle time refers to the total duration it takes to complete a single iteration of the process or workflow. By accelerating this cycle time, we are significantly increasing the pace of our projects, bringing projects to market faster and responding more quickly to changes and new opportunities. Elon emphasizes the importance of speed in project execution, often quoting the mantra, "Time is the enemy." In a competitive landscape where innovation drives success, the ability to move swiftly from a concept to delivery can be a game changer. Consider Tesla's approach to manufacturing. Musk famously set an ambitious goal of producing over 5,000 Model 3 cars per week, a target that seemed unattainable to many. However, through relentless focus and accelerating of the cycle time, Tesla not only met this, but exceeded this goal, revolutionizing the automotive industry in the process. So how can we apply this principle in our own projects? It starts by identifying bottlenecks and inefficiencies in our workflows. This could be anything from lengthy approval processes to manual tasks that could be automated. Once identified, we can then implement strategies to streamline the processes and reduce cycle times. This might involve optimizing resource allocations, leveraging new technologies to automate repetitive tasks, or empowering teams to make rapid decisions without unnecessary bureaucracies. By accelerating the cycle time, we're not only improving the speed of the project delivery, but we're also increasing the capacity for innovation. With shorter cycle times, we can iterate more rapidly, gathering feedback from users and incorporating the learnings into future iterations, driving continuous improvement. On to our last step, guys. Step 5, which is automation. Just as SpaceX uses cutting-edge technology to automate and streamline rocket production, we can harness the same power of automation to revolutionize our projects and project success. Automation involves the use of technologies to perform repetitive tasks with minimal human intervention. By automating routine processes, we can free up valuable time and resources, reduce errors, and improve the overall efficiency. Elon has long been an advocate for automation, recognizing its potential to drive innovation and accelerate the progress. At Tesla Gigafactories, robots work alongside human employees to assemble vehicles at a pace that would be impossible with only manual labor alone. Consider the process of quality control in manufacturing. Instead of relying solely on manual inspections, automated systems can perform rigorous checks at every stage of the production, detecting defects with greater accuracy and consistency. So how can we integrate automation into our own projects? It starts by identifying tasks that are repetitive, time-consuming, and prone to human error. These could include data entry, report generation, or customer communications. Next, we can explore automation tools, and different technologies are tailored to specific needs. This could range from a simple workflow of automation software to more advanced artificial intelligence systems. By automating these tasks, we will not only save time and resources, but we would also reduce the risk of human error and improve the consistency and accuracy of the whole process. Automation enables us to focus our attention on higher value activities that require creativity, critical thinking, and strategic decision making. It allows us to evaluate our work and drive innovation in ways that were previously unimaginable. As we continue to embrace automation in our projects, let's remember that technology is a tool, not just a solution in itself. It's essential to strike a balance between automation and human oversight, ensuring that we maintain a control of accountability at every step of the way. So that's it for the 5-step process from Elon Musk. Please make sure that you check out the video from Everyday Astronaut. It's a longer video, spans for about an hour, and in there he has sprinkled out all the knowledge that I've outlaid here. And it would be great if you guys check that original content out as well, and I'll try to give this as much context as possible. And if you like this content, please leave a comment, like, and subscribe.